And folks often say, like, oh, are you going to be able to work across the aisle with the Republicans? They are not trying to work across the aisle. They're literally trying to kill us. And they are doing it.
This far-left candidate just keeps digging and making herself look even worse. Hey guys, welcome back to the show, your home for independent and nonpartisan commentary and analysis on politics, media, internet insanity, and more. We are going to check back in with the far-left Florida Senate candidate, Angie Nixon, who just got the Democratic nomination to be their candidate this November, face off against Ashley Moody, I believe is the Republican incumbent, for the Senate seat to represent Florida. Now, she is coming under a lot of fire and scrutiny because she's actually a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. The DSA, which we've talked about extensively, is a far-left extremist group that in its platform advocates for abolishing prisons, abolishing police, abolishing borders, having mass open borders, having the government take over large corporations and run the economy, and like so much other crazy stuff, abolishing the Supreme Court and the presidency as we know them. I mean, it really is truly an extremist organization, and she's a member of it. So people are like, that's crazy, actually. That's concerning. And she just tried to clean this up in an interview with Don Lemon, the progressive podcaster, formerly of CNN. And you can decide for yourself whether you think this is a compelling answer. She decided to bring up race and play the victim. Let's watch.
But Representative, that socialist, the DSA thing, that scares some people.
Yeah.
And I
wonder why.
Are you aware of that? That scares folks. And so they're concerned about, are you going to can you actually win? Or what are you going to do when you get in there? Are you going to want to abolish the Supreme Court or to abolish the presidency or, get rid of policing or get rid of prisons? What do you say to that? Do you want that? Is that what you believe?
Don, I am a Black woman with natural hair. I scare people just being my authentic self.
Oh my God.
And so I want to be clear. This isn't about labels, people's labels. This is about people's needs. And I am very clear. I never miss my words about what I stand for. And I just recently joined DSA. I just recently joined the Working Families Party. And the reason I joined those organizations is because they are fighting for our most basic rights that we need. And I believe that as a Democrat, we need to be that big tent that we claim we are and accept as many people into the fold as possible so that we can change our country and build a new vision for this next 250 years.
I'm sorry, but this is just a psychotic deflection and attempt. Don Lemon, who, to his credit, is actually raising some concerns and not just doing a total softball with her here, is like, hey, so some people are kind of scared that you're aligned with this Marxist extremist organization that literally says it wants to rewrite the Constitution and abolish all of American society as we know it and have a socialist overhaul of our economy. What do you say to that? And she's like, well, did you know I am a Black woman and I have natural hair? Ma'am, that has nothing to do with anything. So people are scared of me. No, there aren't. I mean, that might be a thing like that occasionally happens, but one, it's just totally irrelevant deflection, and two, I really don't think most people particularly care about your hair type, or are inherently scared of you because you're a Black woman. Now, maybe you would have more of a point that sometimes people are a little more inherently scared of Black men, but not Black women. I don't know. Regardless, it's just a bizarre deflection, an attempt to pivot to some sort of victimhood rather than address the extremely legitimate concern that was just raised. So it's absolutely maddening to me. And then she goes, I've been clear about what I believe, and the Democrats should be a big tent. Okay, I mean, is the tent big enough to include DSA extremists who literally want to abolish America? Because if it is, then that's crazy. That's insane. But we should probably clarify that. And if you don't believe those things, why did you align with the DSA? Why did you join and become a dues-paying member of an extremist organization? I mean, this is literally like, okay, I know I joined the Nazi party, but I'm not a Nazi. I don't support National Socialism. I just agreed with a couple things in there. Like, that's crazy. I'm not saying the DSA are equivalent to the Nazis. I'm drawing out this principle here, right? That if you join a group, you can't then pretend that you don't support anything the group stands for. Or like, if you disagree with most of the crazy crap in the platform, why are you joining? Why are you aligning yourself with it? That's the thing. It's so either you're just clueless and dumb, and that's disqualifying, or you low-key do believe in a lot of these things, but you're just downplaying it because you know that it won't go over well in a state of Florida, so you're trying to distance yourself, but those represent your true beliefs. Either way, in my opinion, you've just totally disqualified yourself from seeking higher office or being taken seriously at all. And I really, call me crazy, I have a hunch this is not going to go over great with the Florida electorate. We've got some more clips of her because she is a clip machine. The opposition research on her is going swimmingly from the GOP perspective, at least. Let's watch another clip of her. She has some tendencies to bring up certain things. Let's watch. With Caroline Leavitt stepping down, who's going to be Trump's new press secretary? Well, according to our channel partners at Kalshi, people think there's a 35% chance Alina Habba will get the job, whereas Anna Kelly has a 27% chance, and CNN commentator Scott Jennings is in with a 15% chance. Personally, I think Scott Jennings would be a pretty good choice, because whether you agree with him or not, he's pretty used to operating in a hostile media environment over at CNN, and he is pretty reliable as a defender of the Trump administration who doesn't get riled up too easily. But if you guys have thoughts on who the next press secretary will be or any of Kalshi's other politics-related markets, just go ahead over to Kalshi, the first CFTC-regulated exchange dedicated to trading on the outcome of future events, and use code BRADP when you sign up on the website or on the mobile app on your phone to get $20 free when you trade $20 now.
And folks often say like, oh, are you going to be able to work across the aisle with the Republicans? They're not trying to work across the aisle. They're literally trying to kill us. And they are doing it on camera.
Yeah.
And not being held accountable. Like, actually, state-sanctioned violence. They've been doing it in the Black community, and they're doing it even more so now with ICE. ICE is now a weaponized paramilitary force that is designed to terrorize us.
Good grief. She has just absolutely lost her mind. So she talks about the idea of working across the aisle with Republicans, and she dismisses it entirely. No common ground, no solutions they could try to get done together in the United States Senate if she were to become a senator. And then she suggests that Republicans want to kill us, meaning Black people. That is not a thing. You can, and I do, disagree with the Republicans on lots of stuff, harshly criticize them. I think they've totally lost the plot in a number of ways as well. They don't want to, in fact, kill Black people. That's not one of them. So all you're doing is shrieking hysterically, discrediting yourself, and race baiting, by the way. We should call it what it is, right? You are inflaming racial tensions and divisions to what? I don't know, stir up animus towards your political opposition. And it's funny because, I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny because she is obviously running for Senate in Florida, where the Republican Party just literally nominated a Black man who is most likely going to become the next governor of Florida, Byron Donalds. And so there's just the dichotomy there of the hysteria of shrieking that Republicans literally want to kill Black people. And meanwhile, they're voting for a MAGA Black guy to be the next governor. It's just, listen, you can't just cry foul or cry wolf all the time, because sometimes there's really bad stuff that's actually happening, but we just can't believe y'all when you're just constantly crying foul and saying the sky is falling, and then it's actually not. And she does seem to have this tendency to engage in extremely divisive race baiting like this, and that is not good. That is not okay by me. Now, I'll play you one final clip of her, which is similarly gaslighty. Let's watch.
Ashley Moody knows that I'm not a socialist. I joined the DSA because I believe in them in regards to fighting for adequate public housing, as well as fighting for quality health care, as well as making sure that we are getting our veterans off the street, taking big money out of politics, right? The Democratic Party is a big tent. It is a big tent, and it's an everybody party.
Excuse me? She's now claiming that she's not a socialist. She just joined the Democratic Socialists of America, which is an explicitly Marxist group that calls for the government to take over the economy and seize control of large industries and corporations, and for like every far left crazy policy proposal under the sun. She explicitly signed up to join this group. And now that she's running for office and she's gotten the nomination and she's maybe benefited from the far left people supporting her in the primary, she's going to fix her mouth to look into a camera on national cable news or televised news and say, I'm not a social. Oh my God. Miss me with the gaslighting, because you are either a socialist extremist, which I suspect is the case, or you are clueless beyond belief. And either way, it is not looking good for Angie Nixon here, who can't even get her own story straight. How are you supposed to make a compelling campaign to voters across the state about who you are and what you believe in and what you'll do when it's like you're not even making sense? It's like I disagree with her either way, but she can't even decide who she is or what she stands for. It's really remarkable, honestly, and it's only going to get worse. And she's going to have a lot to answer for here, and I suspect there will be too much for her to overcome, and we will not, in fact, have a DSA member representing Florida in the Senate after the November election. But that's just my hunch, and what the heck do I actually know about anything? I'll have to defer to her infinite wisdom. And you guys can let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure subscribed if you aren't yet. Do hit the like button and do consider becoming a channel member here on YouTube. It's the best way to support my independent-minded commentary and analysis. I call it the far left and the far right, which is not always the best business model, but it's the only way I know how to do things. I'm too opinionated to do anything else. So the best way to support me is by becoming a channel member, and we will leave it there with that one. I'll be back with more real soon.